business.facebook. But you can see here that it just goes through an overview of what it is. Hello. In this video, I am going to walk through how to set up a Facebook Business Manager account. And this is extremely important for a later topic in which we start discussing custom audiences on Facebook. Custom audiences allow you to upload data, email addresses, phone numbers, names from your current customer list and create custom audiences that allow you to target people on Facebook that are similar to people that have already purchased your product. So this is extremely important. The Facebook Business Manager is free. We'll provide this link in the topic. It's business.facebook.com. But you can see here that it just goes through an overview of what it is and what you're doing. Now, if you were to have multiple ad accounts, things like that, this also allows you to manage it. So like, let's say if you were managing an ad account for somebody else, you could have their ad account be added to your business manager account. So it's basically just a way to help manage multiple ad accounts, but it also gives you the ability to do custom audiences. So after you get to this page, go up to the top and click create account. And you'll put your business and account name in here. And you put your name in here. And your email. Click next. Then you're gonna have to put in your all of your business details. So go ahead and do that. And then put your website. And click submit. Then you're going to get a link to go to your email address. So you're going to want to do that. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll be right back. Okay, now once you're inside here, after you've confirmed your email, the first thing you want to do is just you're going to add a page, and then we're going to create an ad account. So first here on page, it's a page that we already own. So you should have created your page in the previous topic, but if not, you can create a page here. If you're editing someone else's page, which you probably are not doing, you can request access. But for this example, we're going to click add a page. We'll start typing in our company name, and there's our page right there. So add page. And that page has now been added to our business manager account. We're going to add an ad account. So what we're going to do is click create ad account. Ad account name is We Work in RPJs. Click next. And this is my business. And click create. And we want to be able, for this business manager account, to manage campaigns. And we also want to be able to manage the ad account. So you're going to click this on the left here. You're going to click assign. And you're good to go. So in order to actually start running ads, you need to go to your payment methods. So click on payment methods. And you're going to have to add a payment method. So go ahead, add a payment method here. And then after that, we'll be right back. So once you've added your credit card in, You need to go ahead now, and it says this message, no ad accounts have been connected to this payment method. So go ahead and click on that. And then from there, click Open in Ads Manager up here in the upper right where it says View Payment Methods. So click that. Now we need to click on Add Payment Method. Click on Payment Method from Business Manager. Click Continue. There's the card we added, and click Continue. Say Make Primary. And we're now set up and ready to go. So we created our business page. In the previous topic, we've created our business manager. We have now set up our payment method, and we're ready to run ads. So this is pretty exciting. This is an exciting step. As you can see, nothing too crazy in terms of actually getting started and going. But once these are both done, you should be good to go running ads. Thank you.
Ya está hablando, no se escucha.
Ajá, ese no se oye.
Al igual que el otro.
Hello. In today's video, I am
Yes,
going to just provide an overview of the Facebook Ads Manager layout and how it works. So in order to get to the Ads Manager, you're going to go to facebook.com. You click this little drop-down icon over here on the right. You're going to click on Manage Ads. And then from here, since you've created a Business Manager account, you're going to get this message at the top. You have more ad accounts in Business Manager. Click on Go to Business Manager. And you'll see here's the ad account that we created. So click on your ad account that you created in the previous topic. And you're now brought to your Business Manager account. So this is the Ads Manager. This is the layout. This is a new layout that they implemented this year. You'll see up here I do have something called Switch to Previous Version. So if you click this, it'll bring you to the old version of Ads Manager. This is going away. So for these videos, I am going to be utilizing the new version of Ads Manager. So just as a basic, so how Facebook advertising works is you have campaigns, and you have ad sets, and you have ads, and this is just their hierarchy here. So campaigns is the highest level, followed by ad sets, and then ads. So as an example, I can have one campaign with, let's say, 10 ad sets, and then each individual ad set may have 10 ads inside of it. So your overall campaign spending is a result of how many actual ads you are running. So that's the basics for for how Facebook sets up their hierarchy structure. So you'll see here, we have a bunch of different columns up here. So we have name, we have if something's wrong with the ad, there's an error, delivery, meaning is the ad running or not running, bid strategy, budget, last significant edit, results, reach, impressions, cost per result, which is a very important category, quality ranking, engagement rate ranking, conversion rate ranking, amount spent, when the campaign would end, and the schedule. All these columns, if you see up here, they have a little drop down. You can change this so that these change to your liking. You can also, instead of using their presets, if you click on customize columns, you can play around with that as well and get the actual stats that you really are interested in. One of the biggest ones that you should always be paying attention to is your CPM rate, just cost per 1,000 impressions. So you definitely want to have that. That's an important column there. That feeds directly into your cost per result. So that's the Ads Manager overview. We're going to go through how to create ads and things like that, where we get into ad sets and ads and more of the dashboard. Just some other things. When you're ready to create an ad, you click create. You can actually export ads and do some analysis on them and also import ads. So we may get into that as well in another video. You can click the account overview, which will give you an overview of your overall account and how your account's performing. So once you start running ads, you'll have some data here as well. And then always to get back to your Ads Manager account, just click on the icon over here and then click on Ads Manager, and it'll take you back to your Ads Manager account. And you also see here, if you click on Business Tools, there's a bunch of different things that we'll get into as well in the next couple of videos. So the tool itself it's a very powerful tool. There's a lot you can do with it. And as we start creating ads and other things, we'll get into more detail about how everything works from a overall functionality standpoint. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to getting into actually creating some ads. Hello. In today's video, I am Hello. In this video, we're going to go into a more in-depth overview of the Facebook Ads Manager and what it looks like when you start going into actually setting up an ad. So in the previous video, we explained how Facebook works in terms of the hierarchy of campaigns, ad sets, and then ads. And what we're going to do now is just briefly walk through an overview of actually creating an ad. We're not going to create the ad here, but I just wanted to give an in-depth overview here of an actual ad creation. So if you click create, so you're brought to this this screen here, and one of the things you'll see here is there's this new thing that they just added, and it says if you're running ads for U.S. credit, employment, or housing, you need to choose a special category. And what this does is it prevents you from doing some specific demographic targeting. So if you are doing that, you're going to have to click this button here, and you're going to have to select your category. There is a process that you have to go through to get approved for this. We'll provide a link for that just so that you can take a look and figure out if you need to take care of that. But basically what happens is they'll send a letter to your house address, your mailing address, which will have a code on it. You'll then take that code and then put that code into Facebook's page. And then you'll be approved to run ads for these categories. So scrolling down now, we have what's your marketing objective? So the first thing that you would have to do is select your what your marketing objective is. And for most of us, our marketing objective is going to be conversions over here on the right-hand side. And we'll get into how to track conversions in one of the next few videos. But there are some other things you can do here. You can just do a brand awareness campaign or a reach campaign. You could also do traffic. And if you hover over these, each of them will show you exactly what their goal is. So for example, if you have an app and you're looking for app installs, you can track app installs. So there's a bunch of different options here. But like I said, again, for most of us, it's going to be conversions. And then scrolling down, this is something that is pretty new here for Facebook, which is campaign budget optimization, or also known as CBO. And what that'll do is if you have multiple ad sets within a campaign, it will optimize which ad set is running the best. So it'll put more funds towards a particular ad set. We have a tactic where we actually don't do a bunch of ad sets within one campaign. We do one ad set per campaign. We'll get more into that in another video. But going ahead and going to continue, you're going to get to the next few pages here. This is now the ad set page. So again, you have the campaigns, then you have the ad set, and then you have the ad. So now we're in the ad set section. And this is where we're basically breaking down our demographic data. So basically what happens is you have to choose first a conversion event, which is we're going to get into the next video in a couple of topics, which is your Facebook pixel. And we'll go over that. You can do a conversion on an app. So that means that if you had an app, again, you can convert app installs, things like that. Messenger, so this would be if you are sending people to the Messenger on Facebook, and then WhatsApp, and that's also a pretty new feature as well. So other than Messenger, you also have WhatsApp as an option. Okay, getting down to audience, and this is where you're really targeting who you want to show these ads to. So the more targeted you can get finding your demographic, the potentially better your ads will run. So you can do stuff such as location, getting down to town, county, city level, age, gender, language. So you can enter all that information to target a specific person. And you notice that as you start changing your demographics and your audience, the size of the audience and estimated daily results will change. Now, the estimated daily results, we've seen results that are not always the same as what they're projecting. So this field right here is only an estimate, and it's not going to actually give you the actual conversion chances and percentages and things like that. You see up here we have custom audiences, and this is where we can create custom audiences. So when you go through the demographic stuff here, you can create an audience. There's also a separate section where you can create audiences in a different way and then load them here. Now, we talked about the business manager account and having something called a lookalike audience, where you upload a list of your emails from previous contacts. And then Facebook will target people that look similar to the people that already converted on your site. So we'll go through that as well. Detailed targeting. So in this section field here, we can actually include different types of people, different interests or behaviors. So like, for example, if you're a Facebook page administrator, if you're a business owner, let's say, we can target people that are only business owners. So you'll see here that 13 million people are business owners, according to Facebook. So now you're targeting just business owners. You can also exclude people or narrow the audience as well. So you can say, yeah, I'm a business owner, and I'm also, let's say, I believe we type in page admin. You can do business page admins as well. So now you're getting into even a more narrower scope. And then you can also click this button to expand detailed targeting as well. So Facebook thinks that it's going to improve the performance, you can check this box. Connections. So here you can actually target people who, let's say, only like your page, friends of people who like your page. You can exclude people that like your page. So that's what connections does. Placement. So you'll see here, this is where your ads are going to get placed. So you have automatic placements or edit placements. Now they recommend that is automatic, but we've seen things in the past where we're not going to potentially recommend doing all of that at one time. So as we get into our ads creation, we're going to change some of this stuff here and exclude certain placements and things like that. But over the past couple of years, they have added a ton of placements. I think a couple of years ago it was like 4 or 5. So they've really added new ones, constantly updating it. Some of them you'll see they require videos. So you're going to want to potentially have some videos, things like that. But if you hover over them, it also shows you an example of what it would look like in each different category. You can also target only mobile devices versus not mobile devices, so things like that. You can target specific devices only, so you can do iOS or Android only. So this would be a good example if you have an app and it's only for iOS or only for Android, you would only want to target those users, obviously. Scrolling down here, you can also do it so the ad only runs when they're connected to Wi-Fi. This stuff here, this is for what's called an audience network. So the audience network is like when Facebook has relationships with other companies, such as, let's say, CBS or CNN, and your ad will actually run on those sites. And in order to do that, we have to have our pixel set up. So going back up to the top, you'll see here, we'll have to get our pixel set up as well to get everything going. But if we choose website, the audience network should be good to go. And you'll see here now it is. So what you can do is you can do what's called an inventory filter. And what this means is that they'll not post your content on certain sites. So like explicit sites, things like that. If you change this, you can hit this little drop down and you can change it. So it would put them on other sites. For the, and again, that's for the in-stream video and instant articles on Facebook. For the audience network, it's the same thing. And you can also choose to not show in-stream videos on gaming partner live stream sites. So that's something else you can. The next thing you can do is you can also do a block list. So you can block your ads from running on specific pages, specific areas, things like that. So you can create a block list. Getting down to budgets and schedules. So we have optimization for ad delivery. We're going to choose conversions most of the time, 99% of the time. Cost control. Basically what this does is it'll aim to spend your entire budget with the lowest bidding strategy. So you can see here, there's additional bidding strategies. There's cost cap, bid cap, and target cost. Typically, we see that this ends up costing us more money, so we don't play around with it. And you will see it's optional, but that's something you can learn more about as well if you click the Learn More tab down here, going into bidding strategies. Budget and schedule. This is where you set your daily budget for the campaign. So you're going to set your budget here, and what you're going to do is either run your ad continuously or set a start and end date. So setting a start and end date. So what this does basically is, let's say you're running a promotional period. Let's say it's Black Friday. You're not going to want to continue running those ads past Black Friday. So you would change your end date to that date for when you don't want that ad to run anymore and your promotion's over. So that's how you can manage that. Also, if you just want to spend a certain amount of money, you can also do that as well. And say I want to spend $200 and then $20 a day. So 10 days later, turn it off. Conversion windows. So 7 days click or 1 day view, and you have 1 day click or view, 1 day click, and 7 days click. So what this does is it takes the data, it will track the person around the internet for a certain amount of time. And then based on what they do, it will use that data to optimize the campaign. Typically, if you're spending a lot of money, things like that, you're going to want to do the 7 days click versus the 1 day. If it's a product that's expensive in price, maybe you're selling a $1,000 item, that's something where you might want to do the 7 days so it continues following the person around the internet and their browsing activity for 7 days. But we've seen good results from either 7 days or 1 day. So this is something you should play around with. It's been pretty consistent among both. We don't see too much difference in either of them. So, but again, something that you can definitely play around with. When you get charged as an impression, that's something that's standard here. Ad scheduling. So you can schedule ads to run all the time or on a schedule. So that's if you set a lifetime budget. So if you set a lifetime budget, which is over here, you click this, you can choose the ads to run on a schedule as well and when they'll run. So that's something else you can do. And then delivery type, you can do standard or accelerated. If you do accelerated, you'll see you have to do the bid cap bid strategy up here. And what that will do is it will spend your budget as quickly as possible. So you could spend it extremely quickly versus letting it run. It's recommended that you do standard, but something else you could play around with as well. When you're ready, you'll hit continue here, and now you're brought to your ad section. And you'll see here you're choosing your Facebook page. If you had an Instagram account, you could connect your Instagram account as well. And then you get down here and you have 3 options for formats. You have carousel, single image, or video or collection. We'll go into those in more detail in a later video. Also can add something called instant experience. Media. So this is where you're going to upload your media, your images, your videos, things like that. And then getting down here to your text and links and what your ad actually looks like. So in this category here, in the ad category, you're actually designing your ad. And all of these things here are how the ad's going to appear on your on each different placement. So it's very interactive. It's gotten a lot better over the years as well to see what your ad actually will look like. But we'll get into this in more detail when we actually go to create our ad. Website URL, that's the website URL of your landing page where you're going to send people after they click on an ad. Display link, this is going to be what link it shows on the ad. It has to match your URL though, so you can't just do something random. There's a call to action button, so you have a bunch that you can choose from. Stories, if you had a story, which is a type of ad, you could change the background colors. Branded content. So if you have a third-party brand, you have to, and you want to basically cite them, essentially, you put that here. Languages. So if you want to do a different language, you could also do that. And then tracking. So this is our tracking pixel, which we'll set up in a later video. And then when you're ready to go, you'll hit confirm. And then after you're done doing that, what's going to happen is Facebook will start reviewing the ad, and then it'll determine if it can run or not. And if it can, the ad will start running. So that's the in-depth ads manager overview here. So when you're done, you can hit close. If you close an ad without hitting submit, you can save it to a draft, and it'll save it to your draft, which is good. And you can click close on this, and then you're good to go. So we'll review in another couple videos exactly how to get your ads going, what they're going to look like, things like that. But this video was to show an in-depth overview of the ads manager and the layout for actually creating an ad. Thank you. Hello. In this
No se escucha, creo.
Mm.
Hello. In this video, we're going to walk through Facebook audiences. Just give a brief overview of what they are, how they function, and then in the next couple videos, we're going to go into actually how to create custom audiences and edit them to your needs. So in order to get to our audiences, what we're going to do is we're going to click over here on the left-hand side of the screen. Click on Business Tools, and then scroll down to where it says Advertise, and then click on Audiences. So once this loads, you're going to be brought to this page, and you're going to have a few different options. The first is to create a custom audience. And Facebook's definition for that is connect with the people who have already shown an interest in your business or product with custom audiences. You can create an audience from your custom contacts, website traffic, or mobile app. The next is lookalike audiences. And what that is the ability to reach new people who are similar to audiences you already care about. You can create a lookalike audience based on people who like your page, conversion pixels, or any of your existing custom audiences. And the third is you can save your commonly used targeting options for easy reuse. Choose your demographics, interests, and behaviors and save them to reuse in future ads. So there's a few different options here. So if we go over to the Facebook's page that explains what audiences are, you can get some additional information here about each type of audience. So one of the things to keep in mind here is the lookalike audiences are probably the most powerful. What this is doing is, let's say we have a list of email addresses from customers that have already either purchased one of our items, they fill out a form on our page, things like that. What we can do is we can upload that list, we can create a custom audience from that list, and then from there, we can create a lookalike audience in which Facebook will target and run ads to people that look like the people that have already purchased or filled out the form on our website. So theoretically, you're targeting people that are most likely to convert. You'll see down here, when you're going into the audience size and lookalike audiences, they generally recommend a source of audience between 1,000 to 50,000 people. So if you have a list of only a couple people, it's not really going to work out very well potentially. Not saying you can't do it, but this is what Facebook recommends. So we'll provide this link, but this just gives a little bit more of an overview of custom audiences and how they work. If we go back to our page here, in one of the next videos, we're going to show how to create a custom audience. From there, we're going to creating a lookalike audience. We'll talk about how to save audiences, and then we'll talk about how to actually get these audiences in use in the actual advertisements. And just one other note, we talked about this in a previous video, but it is extremely important that you create a business manager account. You cannot create custom audiences without a business manager account. Also, one of the things I should note is if you do not have a list of contacts in a spreadsheet, you can also use your website traffic as well. So if you have, more website traffic, let's say you have 1,000 hits on website traffic, but you maybe only have 200 contacts, you can also use the hits on your website. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So there is a few different ways to actually get the custom audiences loaded into Facebook, but again, we'll go into that in more detail in one of the next videos. So thank you for watching.
Salud.
In this video, we're going to walk through how to set up custom audiences and lookalike audiences using a customer file. This can also be generated via traffic on your website, as we mentioned in the previous video, but in this video specifically, because I think this is how a lot of you will be able to do this, is we're going to use an Excel file with a list of emails to create our lookalike audience. So the first thing we're going to do is head over to our audiences page. And we're in our ads manager, we're clicking on the upper left-hand corner here, and we're going down to advertise and then audiences. And you see here, here's our test audience that we created in our last test. So let's go ahead now and let's click create audience, and let's go and click custom audience for now. And you see here, there's a bunch of different sources. So you have Facebook sources. And it can be things such as people who have watched from our videos on Facebook and Instagram, people have come to our events, offline activities, so people who have interacted with us on the phone, app activity, create an app, website. So that's assuming our Facebook pixel is installed, which it is. So once you start generating traffic and running ads, you'll be able to eventually get to this point. But initially, what we want to do as a starting point is we probably have a list of customer emails that we've collected over time. We're going to go and choose customer list. And now the next question is, do we want to choose one that includes LTV, which is lifetime value? So what you can do is essentially you can rank your customers. So you can say if this person ranks higher for some reason than another person, maybe they purchase more, you can do that. You would have an indication in your CSV or Excel spreadsheet. For this example, I'm going to use a file that does not include LTV. So let me go ahead and click this and get the file uploaded. And you notice here also you can import from MailChimp. So that's an option if you're using MailChimp or using a Weber in the scenario that we've went over with everyone in the previous courses. So we're not going to do that. Now, one thing about the LTV, that if you do include LTV, what you're going to do is you're going to include a column in your Excel spreadsheet that includes a value. So you have a column header that says value, and then in that column header, you'll assign like a dollar value essentially. So let's say a customer purchases an item and it's worth $5,000. You would assign that person a value of $5,000. That's kind of how Facebook ranks the customers. So let's go to a file that does not include LTV. And I'm going to open the file quickly just to show you what it looks like. So you'll see here that I have a column header.
Está medio trabado, ¿verdad?
Here, and then I have a list of all the emails. So I have a few.
Está trabando este.
But basically, each of these is your column header. So if I did include a LTV, I would put in column B, I would have something like value, and then I would just start ranking each customer. And then this number being in the value of the purchase that they made. So that's what that means. So let's go back to Facebook, and now let's click upload file. And we're going to upload the file that we just had open, and I've labeled it custom audience. And I'm going to name this audience. So what I do usually is I name the date when the audience is from. And we have to select the origin of the data source. So if we select this, it's either directly from customers, so advertisers collected information from their customers, from partners, means we sourced it from an agency or a data provider, or customers and partners, which means a collection of both. In this scenario, these were
people that filled out a form on my website. So I'm going to go directly from customers, and I'm going to click next. You'll see up here too now, if you do need to add other fields, like in our form, we only have a contact field, but if you do need to do other columns, what's going to happen here is they'll give you a template file, and you can see the different columns and headers that are available to you. So for example, here's our test file, and you see we have emails, we have phone, and a bunch of things like that, city, state. So these are some of the different variables you can have. So we're ready to go ahead and click next. And then from there, it's going to say preview map your data. So we have one column and it's emails. So we're mapping our emails. But again, you can see all the different potential options here. So click upload and create. And you can see here we've uploaded 4,656 rows. So the next thing we need to do is we can either start building an ad with this, or we can create a lookalike audience directly from this upload. So I'm going to go now and click create a lookalike audience. And this is really where you get the powerful ability of Facebook to target people that look like people that have already made purchases on your website. So pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now, select an audience for your location. I'm going to choose the United States. And then you see down here, it gives you an option, number of lookalike audiences. You can create multiple lookalike audiences with different levels of similarity to your source. This allows you to bid differently for audiences with different conversion values. You can actually go up to 6 lookalike audiences, and then you can actually separate out the percentage of how closely related they are. So for example, the further out you get here, the less they look like that audience. But basically what happens is, and what we've seen works the best is this 1% here of US, which would be the 0 to 1% here, and then so on and so forth. So the next, basically the way this works is the first 2.3 million are 0 to 1%, then the next 2.3 million after that are 1 to 2%, etc., and so on and so forth. So the further out you get from this chart, on this percentage is the less similar they are to the audience that you uploaded. So for example, if I do one audience, I can say that I want 7% of the people that look like my audience, but you can see here it's a much broader amount versus the 2.3 million that are here. So I'm just going to go ahead and you can create up to 6 at the same time, but you can change the amount for each variable, right? So if I go out to here, I can make the last one 9 to 10%, but only include those 9 to 10%. So this is really customizable here as well. And you can really play around with this to your liking. So now when you're ready to go, click create audience. Just what I like to do here is I typically like to keep this pretty consistent. So I'll usually do the 2.3 across the board here. And then maybe on this last one, I'll go out to maybe do the entire thing. So 5 to 10%. So now click create audience. And you can see here, it's now created 6 of the lookalike audiences. So we have our custom audience down here that we uploaded. And now we have 6 lookalike audiences based on this custom audience. So in one of the next videos, we're going to go into how to use this audience in our actual ad creation. You'll see here that the size of the audience is still populating. So it does take a little bit of time for this to show the actual amount, the size of the audience, like this one does down here that we created before. But you will see that these audiences are ready and you can now use them to create your ads. So that's how you create custom audiences, lookalike audiences. One thing to keep in note, you need a business manager account in order to create lookalike audiences, which you should already have if you watched our previous videos. If you have any questions about these audiences, lookalike audiences, custom audiences, please let us know. Thank you.
Hello, ¿qué pasó?
No lo sé. Se detuvo el sharing.
Ujú.
Oli.
Bueno, esperemos. Quizás
Sí.
internet.
Ok, ¿me
Ay.
escucha?
Sí, lo
Sí.
escuchaba.
All right. All right.